2003 Lancaster County Super Fair. The 4-H FFA beef show will be starting very shortly. They've already done first call for market heifers. I'm going to go ahead and pan around the room. For fun, there's the beef stalls. It's been a hive of activity, as kids have been both trying to eat breakfast and get their animals ready. In the background are the sheep and goat pens. Far background are the poultry and rabbit pens. And more beef stalling. I anticipate a lot more people in the audience as the show goes on. It's usually packed. In fact, it's usually so packed that they've added a second bleacher this year.
Well, good morning. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Look forward to an outstanding beef show and working with the exhibitors and seeing the high quality cattle that your youth bring through here today. kicking off with a market heifer. Looks like we've got a single entry with this blue roan female. Young man, I think you just scared the rest of the competition off. This is a heifer that, when you study her from a market heifer perspective, as far as mass and finish and where she is in terms of weight, I think this heifer is on the right track. You know, if I want to change her, even though we're showing her as a market heifer, I just like to see her a little better structured. You know, because we get these animals heavier and put a little more weight on, they still need to be able to get out and travel freely. She just gets a tick restricted for me, but a nice heifer. You've done a really good job getting her here and presenting her here today.
Congratulations to Connor Pates, your champion market heifer. He'll come back with her for our Supreme Market Beef Drive at the end of the Market Steer Drive. We'll go ahead and do Class 1 Market Steers entering the ring next. Market Steer Class 1 is entering the ring. We'll go ahead and do a first call for Market Steer Class 2. First call, Market Steer Class 2. Folks, if you're following along in the program, we are moving past Class 2. We have some adjustments in the order and moving to Class 3. So we'll do a first call for Market Steers Class 3. First call, Market Steer Class 3. Second call, Market Steer Class 3. Second call, Market Steer Class 3. Final call, market steer class 3. Final call, market steer class 3.
First class of market steers. We lead off with the one that I think just does the most things right when you study these steers in terms of they've got to have the functional pieces of a market steer in terms of muscle and mass and build to them, but also have some eye appeal because we're in the show ring. We want these things to look kind of neat when we get them out here. And I think he's just the best combination of all of that. If you get behind him and study him in terms of shape, of quarter especially, this steer's got plenty to him. But where he kind of excels over the rest of this group is that shoulder forward. He's just neatly constructed, head ties in nicely, just balances up really good. A solid steer to lead this class off with. The steer here in second, I think he's definitely got some quality about him as well, probably an advantage in terms of length. Maybe has a little longer body to him. Steer's maybe not quite as comfortable when he gets out from the hind end of his skeleton, but where he gets the advantage to me, I'm going to stand still and quit pacing out here. That'll help us all out. But the advantage for him to second over the steer in third is that he's just got a little more neat look to him. And I think this is a steer that's built to get to the proper finish weight a little better than our steer in third. I think he can handle the extra pounds to get him to our modern day industry harvest weights a little more effectively. Our steer here in third is a chunk. He's an absolutely powerfully built steer. It's a little shorter neck and a little more compact in his build. This is one that I just worry, can he handle the extra weight that it's going to take to get him to finish in terms of the way that he's put together. This is one I think is just going to get there a little quicker than what we're looking for today. And then our young lady steer in fourth, really functional steer, sound as he can be. Looks like a good, easy feeding steer. Just needs some more muscle to him. When we get behind this steer, gets a tick narrow compared to the competition here in this class. But a good group of steers to lead off our show.
Congratulations to Lauren Johnson for receiving top purple. She'll come back with her market steer for our overall market steer drive following class 3 that will be entering the ring. Just a quick reminder, as 4-H exhibitors are showing animals or planning to show at Nebraska State Fair, entries are due Wednesday, August 10th at 8 p.m. All of these entries are to be completed by the families online. If you have any questions, please ask the 4-H staff. But again, those entries for Nebraska State Fair are to be done by the families and are due Wednesday, August 10th at 8. In the ring right now, we have market steer class 3. Following this class, we'll invite back our top purples from class 1 to do our overall market steer drive. After that, we'll do our supreme market beef drive and bring back the champion market heifer. Another quick reminder that if you plan to participate in the livestock judging contest, it is tomorrow, Sunday, from noon to 2 o'clock. We ask that you please pre-register at the sign-up sheet in the livestock office. Special awards are awarded to all top winners. You can rest easy knowing that you won't have to do reasons, but there will be questions and a great opportunity to refine those skills, try something new, and have a good time. Again, that's tomorrow from noon to 2.
To me, this is a close pair between these top two steers standing right in front of me. And I think for me, they both have little things in terms of structure that I don't just love, so we just kind of have to see who puts together the most things right, as I said, with our first class. And I think our solid black steer does that a little bit more for me. This is a steer, she told me he's weighing about 14-20, and he's held together really well for a steer at that weight. In terms of rib shape and body, that kind of easy feeding look that I appreciate, he's got that. But there's some meat to this steer when you get behind him. I think an advantage he has is the way he's built in his shoulder. He is a tick more extended, but I think it's just the angle and the build of his shoulder is an advantage for me today. He doesn't want to set his hind foot down just quite perfect for me. I think he can just hit the ground a little hard, but that's getting picky, and I think these are two really good steers. I just gravitate towards the solid black one just a tick more today. Young lady, your black and white steer is pretty good. There's no other way to say it. I think this one's a pretty impressive animal. I like the shape and the build of this steer. When he goes, for me, I get behind him and watch those hind legs. He doesn't want to travel just quite right there either. And I think he gets just a tick upright in the angle of that shoulder compared to the class winner. But this is a solid steer, a lot of mass and muscle again. Balances up nice, really good steer right here in second. The young man in third, he just ran into two really good steers in front of him. In terms of length of body, this is a steer that you can appreciate and gravitate towards in this group. Maybe just doesn't balance up quite as nice. Like to see a little more depth to that flank. But a solid steer, really nice trio here with these three in our second class of steers.
Congratulations to Claire and Josie Johnson for receiving top purples in that class. They'll be joined by Lauren Johnson. So we got the Johnson sisters going head to head for our market steer championship drive. After that, they'll be joined by our market heifer for our supreme market beef animal here at the Lancaster County Beef Show. We'd like to thank Anchors for sponsoring our photo backdrops. All livestock, poultry, and rabbit exhibitors are encouraged to take advantage of these during the Super Fair. A backdrop is located on each of the east and west ends of the pavilion. While you're at it and taking those pictures, make sure you share them with us by using the QR code on your program. The deadline for champion or reserve champion award photos for the Nebline and local newspapers is August 13th.
Well, we didn't have very many steers here in our market steer show, but I sure think we had several really nice ones. That's, as far as at this level of competition, the depth of this show is as good as any as I've seen in a while. And while we only had about 7 steers come through, you ought to be proud of the group that you had assembled here today to show here. So as we pick a champion steer, just found out these 2 young ladies up front are sisters. The third sister, oh heck, this just got worse for me. So one of you is going to be unhappy, unfortunately, here. Just really, and that puts me in a precarious situation, but we throw that aside, all jokes aside here. We got to evaluate the cattle as I see them and how I interpret them here today. I said in class there was a close pair, and I get them back here, and I still think that our 2 heavyweight steers are going to be your champion and your reserve. So congratulations to you 2 young ladies.
Congratulations to Clara Johnson, our champion market steer, and Josie as your reserve champion. We'll bring back our champion market heifer for overall Supreme Market Beef Drive.
Well, as we wind down the market steer show here, or market animal show rather, those of you ringside, if you would, I've already heard you doing it today, but if you would, give all our market exhibitors a nice hand for a job well done. I always applaud and appreciate the youth that are willing to take on the market project because we know what the end point is, and sometimes that can be a difficult thing to do. You put so much time and effort into these animals, knowing what's coming at the end, but you know it's one of those things that all animals have a purpose and some animals have to help feed the world. And we're fortunate enough that we've got 4-H and FFA kids that are willing to take on that challenge. I'm not going to talk about the animals again. We've seen them recently enough that there's no need to go back and re-describe them. I'll show you which one's my champion market animal today. And if you would, congratulate these exhibitors one more time.
Congratulations to Clara Johnson, your supreme market beef animal. I apologize for missing the calls there. We now have Lancaster born and raised market in the ring. We'll go ahead and do a first call for market steer performance. Your steer is not required for that, so just come on up to the announcer's table here. While we're at it, we'll do market heifer performance as well. So Lily and Connor, we'll just come on up to the table for that. No need to bring your steer or heifer in the ring. And just a quick reminder, tonight is our livestock auction. 5:30 is when we have the purple row, and the auction starts at 6. And so we invite back our purples from beef, swine, sheep, and meat goat to participate in the auction. We appreciate all of our sponsors and generous donors. This is a premium auction, so the animals do not go home with those that win the bid, but we've got some really excited 4-H'ers to be a part of that auction and are very gracious for your gratitude.
Our Lancaster County born and raised group. We got 3 nice market animals to come back. I'm just going to show you as I glide them up here as the first, second, and third. The steer to my left is the one that I would lead this group off with. When he was in class, we talked about he was behind the champion in the reserve steer. And I think this is a quality calf. You link the body and extension of this calf. He's just a solid feeder animal with a little extra show steer look to him. And I appreciate that about him. Young man, you're doing a nice job. And he's going to be the first place in this county born and bred class. Steer here in the middle will be second. Maybe a little stouter in his build, the way that he's put together in terms of shape at quarter. Just a little more compact and not quite as stretched out in his skeleton as the steer that we win with. Again, another nice steer here that we'll have second. Then our market heifer will be third. I think this is one that we talked about her in class. She's got enough shape to her for a market heifer. Just like to loosen her up structurally when she gets out and moves compared to these 2 steers to place her any higher. So she'll be third today in this Lancaster County class. Congratulations to all 3 of you for bringing calves from right here at home and bringing them out to the fair.
Congratulations to Blake Mueller, your champion, Lancaster born and raised, and reserve goes to TJ. Next, we have our market steer performance and market heifer performance. Simply just come on up to the announcer stand, and once we clear the ring, we will be starting our senior showmanship. So if you are in senior showmanship, come on up to the gate. Again, we'll go ahead and do a first/second call for beef showmanship for the senior class. We've got our market beef performance here in the ring. We'll get those awards out here shortly. Go ahead and do a final call for senior showmanship. Final call, senior beef showmanship. All right, for your market steer performance, Lily receives a purple and champion rate of gain steer. And on the market heifer performance side, Connor also receives a purple and your champion market steer rate of gain, or excuse me, market heifer rate of gain. Congratulations to you two. This is a great way to show some industry reflection of making sure that our market animals are putting those pounds on a daily basis at the rate that they're supposed to. So thank you guys for participating in our rate of gain contest. Next in the ring, we'll have our senior beef showmanship. Just a reminder that our champion senior beef showman is eligible to compete in our elite showmanship that we have tomorrow starting at 5 o'clock. The senior showman from beef, swine, meat goat, sheep, and dairy goat will all compete head-to-head in a round-robin competition. Again, that starts tomorrow at 5 o'clock. In the ring right now, it looks like we have our first half of senior beef showmanship. If you are in the second half of senior beef showmanship, please make your way to the gate. The first half is in the ring. Second half of beef senior showmanship. Make sure you are ready to go here momentarily.
With the number of senior showmen that we had, I asked if we could split the group in half and do 2 heats and bring some exhibitors back, just so I could see a little better, everybody a little more ring to work with and show off their talents. And this, all 6 of you do a really good job. When you start with the seasons, I kind of like that personally, because the younger exhibitors get to see what the good showmen are doing and how they're working. So I think that's a good move, and you can watch this first heat and see some good showmen that are doing some good things. But I'm going to bring 3 exhibitors back for our final. Our young lady on the far end with the red heifer, you will come back. This young lady directly in front of me with the black calf, and to my far right, the young lady with the black yearling heifer. You 3 will come back for our final here in just a little bit. Congratulations to all 6 of you. Nice job.
Congratulations to Clara Johnson, Emberlyn Johnson, and Kayla Keebler. They will be coming back for our overall senior showmanship drive. But before we get to that, our second heat of senior showmanship will be entering the ring. Again, our top senior beef showman will be joined by the top senior showman in swine, sheep, dairy goat, and meat goat for our elite showmanship tomorrow at 5 o'clock. First call, intermediate beef showmanship. First call, intermediate beef showmanship. We will have a senior drive, but let's go ahead and get those intermediates starting to come up.
Second heat of senior showmanship and another good competition. Again, for you younger exhibitors, you can watch all 5 of these and pick up some good habits for sure. This is a group that's done a nice job. Again, I'm going to take 3 out of this group as well. Our young lady to my far right with the steer is going to come back. The gentleman directly in front of me with the black heifer, and then the young man with our shorthorn heifer. Those 3 are going to come back for our senior final. Congratulations to all 5 of you on a nice job.
Tyson, TJ, and Josie will be joined by our champions, or excuse me, our top senior showman from the previous heat for our champion senior showmanship drive. Once we get the senior showman in the ring, we'll go ahead and do a second call, intermediate beef showmanship. Second call, intermediate beef showmanship.
before we select a grand and reserve in this heat, if you would here inside, give these seniors a nice hand for a job well done. After that second heat of seniors walked out of the ring, Grant said to me, he said, we don't have a big fair, but we sure do have a high-quality fair. He's absolutely right. And the senior showmanship division is no different from what I've seen so far. Really good set of showmen. I wouldn't be afraid to hand a calf to any of these 6 and say, go get a show for me. I get to pick a champion in reserve. All 6 of you do things really well. And then all 6 of you do a couple things here and there that I might like to change. So, kind of as I said, in the steer show for me, I try to find the ones that do the most things right. And there's 2 out here that I think do that for me today. And so our champion senior showman is going to be the young lady directly in front of me with the steer. And then for reserve, we're going to follow with this young lady with the black heifer calf. Congratulations to all of you on a nice senior showmanship.
Congratulations to Josie Johnson, your champion senior beef showman. She will be eligible for the Elite Showmanship tomorrow at 5, and also will be coming back for our overall showman. The reserve champion goes to Kaylin Keeper. Let's job, ladies. Next to the ring, we'll have our intermediate showmanship class.
Earlier I panned to show the activity. I'm going to quit doing another
If we have
pan.
any registered Lancaster County Clover kids in the audience, so you're ages 5 to 7 and would like to try your hand at showing a beef animal, we'll have our Clover Kids Showmanship after the junior showmanship. The stipulations there are the animal has to be less than 350 pounds, which if you look at some of our steers and heifers in the ring today, they're a little bit heavier than that. So you'll need to find a 4-H showman and an animal less than 350 pounds. Come on up and check at the table, and we'll get you going here after the junior showmanship. In the ring right now, we've got our intermediate beef showman. We'll go ahead and do a first call for junior showmanship. First call, junior beef showmanship. Second call, junior showmanship. Second call, junior showmanship. Final call, junior beef showmanship. Final call, junior beef showmanship.
We get our intermediate showmen out here, and like we did with our seniors, show them how proud of you are for a nice job out here. This is an age group that can be a challenge at times because you get your kids that are just coming out of the junior age group where they're just getting the hang of things. Some of them are just getting started at this age, and so it can be just a lot of different experience levels, and you know, this is an age where young people just change so much from the time they start as an intermediate till the time they're just about ready to go to senior. There's just a lot of difference in some of these kids in terms of their maturity and their experience levels, and it's just, I think intermediates are the most challenging to evaluate for me when you get into a showmanship class. There's two for me today that I think kind of rise to the top of this group. All 8 of you do some things really well, like we said with the seniors. All 8 of you, there's probably some things I change here and there. But for me today, our champion in this age group is going to be this young man directly in front of me with the red heifer. For reserve, it's a little bit tougher for me, I think. Showmanship is kind of a two-man team, two being team rather. And sometimes the animal has it and the showman has an off day. Sometimes the showman has it and the animal has an off day. And then in order to do well, you usually got to put them both together in sync. I think there's one that does that well here. Our young man by the gate has had a pretty good run with his female today. They'll be reserved.
Congratulations to Tyler Kluge, your champion intermediate beef showman. He'll be coming back for our overall showman against the senior and junior. Our reserve champion goes to Caden Gaina. Next to the ring, we have our junior class of beef showmanship. We'll do a last call for any Clover kids in the audience that would like to try their hand at showing a beef animal. If you are a registered Lancaster County Clover kid, ages 5 to 7, please come on up to the announcer stand. We'll get you checked in. And that Clover kid will need to find a beef exhibitor and an animal that is less than 350 pounds. And that Clover kid showmanship will be after our junior class that will be entering the ring here shortly. After going through our showmanship here, we're excited to see our exhibitors not only display their animals, but also great sportsmanship. We respect the fact that we are appreciative of the fact that they are being respectful and staying humble, and exhibiting good sportsmanship is not just for our board and FFA youth, but it applies to everyone involved with our exhibitors here in the barn. So thank you for being great examples of what 4-H good sportsmanship looks like. Again, after our junior showmanship, we'll have our Clover Kid showmanship, which that won't take too long, and after that, we'll do our overall showman. So we invite back our champion senior and champion intermediate to join our champion junior showman, and they will receive the traveling trophy for the overall showman for the beef show here at the Lancaster County Fair. Again, that will be after Clover Kid showmanship.
Well, I guess word got out that these 3 juniors were coming to the fair this year, and they scared away the rest of the competitions. But we got 3 nice junior showmen that are doing a good job. So if you would here ringside, you know the routine by now. Let's give them a nice hand. As I watch these 3 showmen, I don't think this is the first time any of them have come to a show ring before. Sometimes in a junior group, you get your brand new showmen that are fresh to the ring, but I think all 3 of these have done this before. They do the basics well, and they know what they're supposed to do at this age. And that, for parents ringside, I'm not a show parent yet, but as a former show uncle, getting kids at this age to know the basics and what they're doing in the ring is a win. And so whoever's been coaching and helping these 3 at home, I'd say you're winning, because you've got these 3 young exhibitors locked in and doing a good job. All 3 of them are going to be purple exhibitors here today. Our champion in this group will be the young lady to my right with the steer. Our reserve will be the young lady on the other end, and young man, you're going to do 3rd place. It's tough to beat these girls in this showmanship deal. Trust me, I know.
Congratulations to Lauren Johnson, your champion junior beef showman. She will be joining the champion intermediate and senior showman after our Clover kids. It doesn't look like we have any Clover Kids showmen, so we will go straight into the overall showmanship drive. As we're getting situated here, we just want to thank the Lancaster County Livestock Boosters and everyone who sponsored the new red stall signs this past year. A total of 71 were added. These include champion and reserve for showmanship classes, in addition to others that were not previously represented. So thanks again for supporting Lancaster County 4-H. And if you are an exhibitor who has earned a red sign this year, and you see your sponsor wandering throughout the barn, make sure you give them a handshake, a hello, and a thank you for supporting their recognition of all of your hard work here at the 2023 Lancaster County Super Fair. And we do have a Clover Kid showman. It's a great way to get our Lancaster County 4-H youth introduced to showing livestock here at the county fair.
Our lone Clover kid here, this is Avery. She's showing her calf named Cherry Bomb, and she's doing a great job. They look like quite the team. I think they've done this a time or two at home in the yard or in the barn. It looks like Cherry Bomb's about bomb-proof here. But congratulations to Avery. Keep up the good work. It won't be long. You'll be out here competing with the big kids for showmanship.
All right, let's have another round of applause for our Clover Kid showman. Nice job. All right, next in the ring, we'll have our overall showman. Again, just our quick reminder, it's our champion senior, intermediate, and junior showman. They are competing for the Gordon Chappelle Memorial Senior Beef Showmanship Award. Say that 5 times fast. This is a traveling trophy that was started in 2008. That goes home with the winner for the year and gets their name and year engraved on the trophy, and then comes back for the 2024 Lancaster County Super Fair to go on to the next overall showman. So just a reminder, we've got Josie Johnson from the senior class, Tyler Plugi from our intermediate class, and Lauren Johnson from our junior class. We'll go ahead and do a first call for a British Cross feeder heifer class. First call, British Cross feeder heifers. Second call, British Cross feeder heifers. Second call, British Cross feeder heifers. Do a final call for our British Cross feeder heifers. Final call, British Cross feeder heifers.
As we get ready to select an overall showman, one more time for our showmanship exhibitors. Nice hand for excellent set of showmanship. You know, we saw about 20 or so kids come through here, and these are the three that rose to the top. And now that we've gotten to the end, I'll talk just briefly about kind of what I was looking for throughout these heats. I don't like to do that as we go because that gives an advantage to the later kids. They can change their style to try to fit what I want. And I want to see what they think, what their natural showman ability is and what they do naturally. And so, you know, if you look at these three, I think what you see and have seen throughout is they get these calves stuck, they get them correct, they get them there quickly. All three of them are poised, seem to be confident about themselves as showmen, and all three of them have an intensity about them. It's not a stare a hole in the judge till his heart explodes kind of intensity, but you can tell they're here to win. They're not here just to have fun and goof off and get in the show ring. They're here to win. And I really appreciate that. And when you put all the basics of getting the calf stuck together with that kind of mentality, and let's face it, with showmanship, sometimes it's just a little bit of luck. If your heifer or steer has a bad day, or you get a bad spot in the show ring, sometimes those things just happen. But these three are the ones that come to the top, I think all three of them, really, if you had a panel of judges out here, I think all three of them could be worthy winners of this award. Today, for me, I will go shake hands and congratulate the one that I think deserves to take home the traveling trophy for this year.
Congratulations to Josie Johnson, your overall beef showman from the senior class. We'll go ahead and move on to our feeder calf portion of the show. So next in the ring is our British Cross feeder heifers. Once they get in here, we'll go ahead and do a first call for our British Cross feeder steers. We also want to thank our 2023 4-H and FFA Livestock Exhibitor t-shirt sponsors, Smart Chicken, Neogen, and the Nebraska Tractor Supply Company. As a part of the sponsorship, each 4-H and FFA Livestock Exhibitor is provided a t-shirt free of cost. Exhibitors are encouraged to sign the poster boards near the livestock office today. These great sponsors. Again, in the ring right now is our British Cross feeder heifers. We'll go ahead and do a first/second call for British Cross feeder steers. Do a final call for our British Cross feeder steers. Final call, British Cross feeder steers. As we're passing out our banners today, make sure that our exhibitors are filling out the thank yous that are attached to the back of them. We've got some donors that are very gracious with supporting our youth and would appreciate a thank you from those exhibitors that have earned those banners. So make sure that you are filling out the thank yous that have been attached. Just a quick reminder that all livestock here in the livestock barn will be released no earlier than 7 o'clock tomorrow evening on Sunday, August 6th. One more time, reminder that all livestock will be released no earlier than 7 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday, August 6th.
Kick off with the British feeder calf heifer division, and I'll be the first to admit this is a group that if you're standing ringside, maybe they don't fit together exactly in a peas in a pod kind of situation. You know, sometimes I've been guilty of watching ringside and the judge lines the class up and said they don't fit together. Well, sometimes on this side I've come to appreciate that sometimes you just don't get the ones that exactly fit together in a super uniform group, and we're going to line them up as I like them best. And for me, the young lady's black heifer to my right is the one that's going to lead off this class. She told me this is a late February born heifer, and I think she's just right where she needs to be for that age. I like the rib shape, and I think there's adequate muscle in this heifer. Nice square hip, balances up nicely from a profile standpoint. When she lets her get out and go, she travels freely. I think this is one that's pretty good now, and I think she's got a pretty nice future on her, and she's just the one that I think we land on as the most quality of this group. The heifer here in second is probably the one that's the most like her for me of this group in terms of balancing up and rib shape and volume to her, being adequate in her muscle for this stage of the game. She's a tick more moderate than the one in front of her, maybe not quite as square and attractive as her look, but I think in terms of just the functional pieces are there for this heifer. She's young. I think she's got a good future still in front of her. And this is a solid heifer here in second. The heifer here in third, if you wanted to put her first because she's the power heifer, I won't argue with you one bit. She's definitely the farthest along and has the mass and the muscle to her. For me, I think she's a little bit too much in terms of mass and muscle for a heifer. I just like to see the tick more refined. I really her build and everything through her head and her stomach a little bit too stout for me. I think she's a nice heifer. She's got some good pieces. You can have some fun breeding this one. I just, for me, would like to tone her down just a notch. The young lady's black heifer here in fourth is one that's attractive, super neat in her look. Maybe just gives up a little bit. I know even at this age, I think she could have a little bit more to her, especially in terms of bone on that heifer. But a solid female's got a really cool look to her. If we could stouten her up at the ground, maybe I just could take more rib and mass to her, we could move this one up. The young man's Hereford heifer is just functional in her design. I think he told me she's a March-born heifer in terms of just balance and has the look that she's going to be a good brood cow that lasts you a long time. And I think that's something that I appreciate quite a bit. She does the little things right. She's a little flatter and plainer in her design compared to some of those in front of her. The young man's Shorthorn heifer here next. Going to be a big female in terms of frame. I wish she just had a little more depth of body for where she is frame-wise. I think this is one that, for me, as she gets older and we think about mature cow, I just have a little concern. Is she going to be easy doing enough, or is she going to get too big? Then our heifer that rounds out this group, young man, I think you're in a tough position here because you've got a yearling heifer in this class of calves that were born this year. And so for me, I think this is a heifer that I evaluate her as a yearling. I think she's easy keeping, maybe too much show. I think we'd have to tone her down in condition to get her where she can be a little more eye appealing. A heifer that if we take the condition off, how much mass and muscle is really there. But a nice set of heifers, 1 through 7. Congratulations on those exhibitors.
Congratulations to Kaylee Keebler, your champion British feeder heifer, and Cameron Keebler as your reserve champion. Next to the ring, we have our British Cross feeder steer class. We'll go ahead and do a first call for our British Cross feeder bull. British Cross feeder bull. Call for first call. And if anyone in our audience is needing a mid-morning snack, go ahead and head on over to the Lancaster County 4-H food stand, also known as the Horseshoe and Clover Cafe and the Multi-Purpose in Lincoln Rooms. Proceeds from the 4-H food stand go towards supporting our 4-H youth and state and national contest registrations at the State Horse Show, judging and Ecology, Horse Stampede, Companion Animal Challenge, Pace Contest, and the Nebraska State Fair Contest. These proceeds also go towards activity scholarships and college and camp scholarships. You'll find the 4-H food stamp menu in your show program. We thank you again for supporting 4-H. Second call, British Cross Feeder Bowl. Second call, British Cross Feeder Bowl.
Good pair of feeder steers here for our British division. The young lady Shorthorn calf, the one I'm going to lead off with, and I'll say this first. I think both of these steers cover the basics really, really well. I think they both have the right pieces to bring them back next year and be solid, competitive steers at the fair as fat steers next year with the right handle and the right management. These both could get here and do a pretty good job. But the young lady steer is the one that I gravitate towards. I think when I get behind him, I think there's plenty of steer there in terms of mass and muscle, and especially down his top. He's got the advantage in eye appeal, and I think is what kind of separates these two. Is this steer has the look to him, and he's plenty massive. Maybe from the side you don't think there's as much there, but you get behind the steer, there's enough red meat in him at this stage in the game to be competitive today and down the road. He's built really nice, just balances up nicely. Good solid steer to lead off this field. And young man steer here, like I said, he covers every basic thing that you need in a feeder calf to go forward with a fat steer. He's sound structured. He's got some muscle to him. This is one I think he just needs some time. And when he gets this calf stuck, he balances up nicely, maybe not quite as neat in his look as the class winner, but the pieces are there. This one just needs time. And take good care out of him and bring him back next year and be competitive.
In the ring, we have our British Cross Feeder Bowl. We've got a single entry in this class. So we'll go ahead and do a first call for our exotic cross feeder heifer. First call, exotic cross feeder heifers. We'll go ahead and do a second call for exotic cross feeder heifers. Second call, exotic cross feeder heifers.
Just the one bull in this class, and the young man said he's already kind of got the bull mentality. He's kind of fighting with him, doesn't really want to cooperate on the halter, but he says this is about a 3-month-old calf, and like we said just a second ago with feeder steer, I think the basics are there. Having a nice structure to him. I like his length and level top. At this stage of the game, adequate in his muscle shape. I wouldn't call him overly expressive in terms of muscle, but a good, solid, functional calf that's got some future to him. It'll be fun to see what you can make out of him in the next year when you get to this time next year and you're ready to sell him. So.
Congratulations to Connor for receiving Champion British Feeder Bull. We'll move on to our exotic cross feeder heifer class. They'll be next in the ring. Just another quick reminder that our livestock judging contest is tomorrow from noon to 2 o'clock here in the ring. We ask that you please pre-register with your team and adult sponsor on the sign-up sheet outside the livestock office. We'll be doing beef cattle, meat goats, sheep, and swine. No reasons will be a part of this judging contest, but it's a great opportunity to work on your evaluation skills or try it for the first time and also work on picking out those important details that may come up in questions. It's a great learning opportunity or a great practice if it's your first time or your 100th time. So again, make sure you sign up for those or for the judging contest outside the livestock office. It's tomorrow from noon to 2 o'clock. Get all of our exotic feeder heifers in the ring. We'll do a first call for exotic cross feeder steers. First call, exotic cross feeder steers. cross feeder steer. Final call, exotic cross feeder steer.
young man, if you'll go ahead and bring her out in the center here, we'll talk about our class winner. Like we said with the British cross females, to say that this group goes together in a uniform cookie cutter set is not the case. I'm the first to admit that. I know it's a tough group to put together, and it's just about find what you like and what you can work with. And I think when this young heifer wants to cooperate and really show you what she's got, this black heifer is the one that does that well for me. In terms of just rib shape, volume, the heifer does it very well. When she wants to cooperate, you can see how attractive she is. She does this right here, really neat looking heifer. When she fights him like she did for the first 90% of the time we were out here, it's tougher to get a read on. But when this heifer puts it all together, the pieces are there, just a solid female, and one that I sound like a broken record, I think does the most things right of this group to win this class. A red heifer here, the Simmental, is going to be our second place heifer. One that, you know, if you like them powerful, she certainly does that. She's got plenty of shape, lots of rib. For me, this is a heifer that at the top of her shoulder, I just like to put her together a little nicer. Young lady does a great job getting her stuck. It's when it's on the move that the heifer just kind of gets a little off up top. If you want to pick on her and say she's a little bit too much up front in terms of leather, you can. That doesn't bother me. I think she's got a good cow future in front of her. I'm just a little more concerned about her in terms of where she is at the top of her shoulder blade. Our heifer here in third is our white-legged heifer. When this one came in, she hit me hard, and the heifer is built from the side as neat as anything in here. Where she shuffles back to third, for me, she just gets a tick flatter in terms of shape compared to the two heifers in front of her. But I think that one's got a world of future. The young lady's done a nice job getting her to this point. I think she'll be a fun bred next year. After here in fourth, really functional in terms of the things she does right. I like the structure on this one. Just runs into three really good ones in front of her. A heifer that I think down the road's got a lot of promise. Just for me today, just not quite there compared to one in front of her. Our heifer here in fifth, if you like one that's long-necked and freaky and super cool looking, you probably move this one up quite a bit. I think just at this stage, I just like to see her a little more opened up in the rib, a little deeper body for my liking, but one that's certainly striking profile that gives you a really cool look about her. The young man's heifer next is similar in that type in terms of she's a long neck, level top, nice female from that perspective. Just like to see a little more shape to this one behind her. When I got behind her, I like to see a tick more muscle compared to the heifer in front of her. When she does what she just did there, gives you that profile look. She certainly catches your attention. Young lady here in seven, just got a heifer that's a little greener than one in front of her. Pieces are there. I think this one's got a solid future to her. Maybe just a little flatter today, even for where she is in age. Our gold heifer here next one, it's a little stouter in her makeup. Just doesn't seem comfortable in the hind end of her skeleton. I'm not sure what's up today, but she just doesn't seem the slightest bit comfortable when we have her out here. When we round out the class, the young man's black Simmental making the turn. Nice heifer. Got the piece that I think to be a good brood cow for him down the road. Just maybe a tick plainer in their design compared to some of the cooler front and neat ones up in front of the class. Nice job for everyone in that group.
Congratulations to Micah Mueller, your champion, exotic crossfeeder heifer, and Kaylin Keebler is your reserve champion. Next in the ring, we have our exotic crossfeeder steer, the single entry. So we'll go ahead and do a first call / second call for exotic crossfeeder bull. First / second call, exotic crossfeeder bull. A quick final call for our exotic crossfeeder bull. Final call, exotic crossfeeder bull.
just a single steer in this class, and I told this gentleman that he's been hiding this one from me so far today, and this is the best calf you've brought out here, I think. I really like this one quite a bit in terms of the way he's built. The muscle mass on this calf at this stage of the game is solid. I think he's got the work to feed pretty easy for you down the road. Just keep up the good work with him, and hopefully he'll get back here and be competitive next year.
To Connor, your champion exotic feeder steer. Next to the ring is our exotic cross feeder bull class. After that, we'll do our supreme champion feeder calf drive, where we will invite back our top feeder calves. Just another quick reminder, as you're taking pictures here at the Lancaster County Fair, whether it's ringside or at the show banners, or the backdrop, excuse me, make sure that you're sharing those with the 4-H staff using the website or QR code found on the front of your show programs. The deadline for champion or reserve champion award photos for the Nebline and local newspapers is August 13th, but we'd love to see all the pictures that you guys are taking here at the county fair, so be sure to use that QR code.
Just the one bull in the crossbred division, and I guess he didn't like something I said when they were coming in here because he decided to show off a little bit. But calf could definitely stand some competition. It's one of those calves who turns the balances up really nicely. When I get behind him in terms of his quarter and hip, there's a lot of shape to this calf at this stage in the game. I think he could go either way. If you want to keep him a bull and use him in a program, I think you can certainly do that with what I see here. If you want to turn him into a show steer, I think you can be competitive that way too. So nice prospect. We'll get to evaluate him with all our other class winners here in just a second.
Congratulations to Hans Reimers with his exotic cross feeder bull. At this time, we are inviting back our top feeder calves for our Supreme Champion Feeder Calf Drive, where we will designate our champion and reserve champion for the 2023 Lancaster County Beef Show. We'll go ahead and do a first call for our Angus heifer, January, February 2022. First call, Angus heifer, January, February 22. Final call, Angus heifer, January, February 2022. Final call, Angus heifer, January, February 22.
Before I go select a couple champions in our feeder calf show, if you would give these exhibitors a nice hand for a good show of feeder calves. The quantity of feeder calves here at your fair is impressive, but the quality is even more so. Back home, the county fairs around where we live, we're lucky to get half a dozen feeder calves to come in, and if you can find one or two to get semi-excited about, it's a pretty good show. Folks, there's been 8-10 calves come through here that I like quite a bit, and unfortunately we really only get to hand out 2 big banners at the end of it here with this drive right here. We've got 6 calves out here that all do some things that you like. Like I said earlier with the showmanship, if you put a panel of us out here, we're not going to line them up all the same, and that's fine. That's the beauty of our business, is we all have the opportunity to raise and exhibit the kind of cattle we like. And for me, I think there's one that rises to the top of this group in my mind, and then there's about 3 that I can look at and think about for a reserve. I'll go ahead and show you that champion, study a tick more, and then I'll show you the reserve here in the feeder calf show.
congratulations to Micah Mueller, our champion, Supreme Champion feeder calf. And our reserve champion goes to Hudson Reimers. We'll move on to our registered portion for the show with our Angus heifer, January, February 22. Coming into the next. So we'll go ahead and do a first call for Angus heifer, March, April 22. First/second call, Angus heifer, March, April 22. For exhibitors showing animals at the Nebraska State Fair. Entries are due Wednesday, August 10th at 8 o'clock p.m. All entries are to be completed by the families online. If you have any questions, please direct those to 4-H staff as needed. But again, one more time, those entries are to be done by the families and are due Wednesday, August 10th at 8. We'll go ahead and do a final call for Angus heifer, March, April 22. Final call, Angus heifer, March, April 22.
Kick off the Angus show with a really nice female here. This is one that, when you get this look right here, you can't help but like her in terms of just, she screams really good Angus brood cow prospect to me. I love the bold rib shape. I think at the ground she's put together well. She's feminine in her build. She's not going to be one that you call freaky fronted or super neat from her shoulder forward, but she's feminine and she's attractive enough for me. A nice heifer to lead off our group. We'll see how she stacks up to the rest of our Angus heifers.
Job depleting data. Next in the ring, we've got our March, April 22. We'll do a first/second call for Angus heifer, May, June 22. And we'll have all of our purple Angus heifers come back for our overall Angus drive. So in the ring right now, we have March, April. We'll do a first/second call for May, June 22.
March heifer here, another single entry, but another one that I'd like to see some competition for her, see how she stacks up. I think she could run pretty heavy with some more heifers out here. Heifer to me balances up really nicely. I like the level hip and squareness to this female. Really pretty feminine head about her. She's got that nice Angus cow head on her. Female that does a lot of things nice. I think we'll get her back out here. We'll get to compare and contrast with the rest of these Angus heifers.
All right, next in the ring, we have our May, June 22. We'll do a first/second call for July, August Angus heifer 22. First/second call, July, August 22. final call for Angus heifer July, August 22. Final call. Excuse me, Angus heifer July, August 22.
Powerfully built single entry heifer here. Then when you get behind her, you see that there's some extra shape and muscle to this heifer. Plenty of rib shape and volume about her. Just another solid Angus female. We're going to have a really good drive here in a few minutes. We'll get them all back out here. We'll just compare and contrast some more, but a nice female here in this group.
Entering the ring now, we have July, August 22. We'll bring back our purples from the previous three classes for our overall Angus heifer drive.
Single entry August born heifer here that really angular and neat in their design. This profile view right here is pretty cool. A heifer that has still got some youthfulness to her, just getting close to a year old here. I like that she still looks like a younger heifer because she is. I think she does a lot of things well. We'll just compare her to the older girls here in just a little bit.
All right, entering the ring, we'll have invite back all of our Angus heifers that received the purple, which is all of them. We'll pick our champion reserve Angus heifer. We'll go ahead and do a first/second call for our red Angus January-February 22 class. First/second call, red Angus January-February 22. Final call, Red Angus, January, February 22. Final call, Red Angus, January, February 22.
Well, we didn't have very many here in the Angus show, but I think we got us a nice lineup back out here. I'm kind of a newbie to the Angus business. I became an Angus breeder the day I put this ring on my left hand. My wife had Angus cattle before we got together, and it's something I have to pay a little more attention to now, as the old happy wife, happy life saying goes. But if I had any of these four heifers standing in our pasture right now, I wouldn't be the slightest bit upset with it. I think they're pretty good representations of what I like Angus to be, as far as broody, maternal, attractive females that still have a little something to them. I think these females combine them pretty well. I'm a cowy kind of guy. I think that's usually been my type. What I gravitate towards is the one that has some extra shape and some mass to them, but still feminine and attractive. I think there's one that does that pretty well for me in this group. Our oldest heifer is going to be the champion here, and since we don't have a second to follow up, we'll just come back down to the youngest heifer for our reserve. I really like the look and youthfulness of this heifer to follow up as a reserve.
Champion goes to Kaden Gaina with his Angus heifer from the January-February class, and reserve champion Kaden Keebler from the July-August class. Next in the ring, we are doing our Red Angus portion of the show. So entering the ring now, we've got our January-February. We'll go ahead and do a first/second call for January to February 23. And the ring right now is 22. Final call for Red Angus January, February 23. Red Angus January, February 23. Final call.
good pair of red Angus heifers here. I like both of these heifers quite a bit. I think they do similar things in their type and their kind. One just does it in a little smoother, neater, attractive overall package. That's the heifer here to my right. I think this is a heifer that in terms of the way her shoulder up through her neck is built carries a bit of an advantage. A heifer that's got plenty of, both of them have plenty of mass and shape to them. I like her in terms of her hip and tail head. If you think she's got a little bit too much under her jaw there in terms of extra leather, I wouldn't argue with you. It just doesn't bother me all that much. But I think that's a really nice heifer to lead off with. Our young man's heifer here in second, she's pretty darn good too. I think where this heifer just gets thrown off balance a little bit is that I'd like to lay her tail head down into the rest of her just a bit. This is the heifer that I think she's going to have a really cool udder when we get her bred and get her into production. A really nice heifer, two really good heifers there in this class.
All right, next in the ring we have our red Angus January, February 23, and then we invite back our top red Angus for the red Angus drive.
Young man brings us a really neat calf here as a single entry, deep body, big rib heifer. I think there's some future to her. She's where she needs to be in terms of at this stage in terms of condition and size. And I just think this is a solid prospect for the young man that's going to be in contention when we get our three red Angus back out here at the side.
Entering the ring now is our red Angus drive, so we'll go ahead and do a first/second call for our Charolais heifer March April 2022 class. First/second call, Charolais heifer March April 22. Red Angus heifers are not the only red things here at the Lancaster County Fair. We've also got those pretty snazzy red stall signs that are being passed out to our champion and reserve champions. And we want to congratulate all of our 4-H and FFA members on their achievements. You that receive a red stall sign for top honors, we ask that you please clean and return those signs to the Livestock office by 7 o'clock tomorrow night on Sunday. We ask that you please keep the signs in good condition so they may be used in the future. Some of these signs you may have noticed have been around for a long time. We've got some new ones too, as we've had some gracious donors over the past year. So if you see one of those donors that's on your sign, please give them a handshake, a hello, and a thank you for supporting our Lancaster County 4-H youth.
Again, a small but mighty set of red Angus heifers, just these three in our breed show. But if I were in the red Angus business, I wouldn't be the slightest bit upset to see these three roaming around our pastures. I think they all fit together pretty well. There's a similar type and kind to the three of them here. I think there's one of them that is certainly my preference, and that's going to be the older heifer that won our first class. She'll be the champion here. Now, I asked this young man with the big heifer here, because we also had asked this calf. I asked him which one he liked better, and he didn't really give me much of an answer when I asked him that question, but I think once we get back out here, we see which one he likes better, because we see who he's on the halter at. Well, he and I agree on which one that I like better. She'll be the reserve.
Congratulations to Kyler Fluke with his January-February Red Angus as champion, and Canyon as reserve champion from the January-February class. Next in the ring, we have a single entry for our Charolais drive. We'll go ahead and do a second call for Main Anjou Angus heifer. Excuse me, Main Anjou heifer, May-June 2022. Second call, Main Anjou, May-June 2022.
Single Charolais here in this breed class, but one that I think typifies a lot of the things that Charolais cattle are known for. An heifer that's got some added length of body and mass, and really appreciate the foot and bone this heifer has. Solid representation of the Charolais breed here. I wish you could have seen some more competition just to see how she stacks up, but I think she stood fairly well with some more competition here.
Congratulations to Blake Mueller, our champion, Charolais heifer. Next in the ring, we have our Main Anjou heifer for the May-June 2022 class. And we'll go ahead and do a first/second call for Shorthorn heifers, January-February 2022. First/second call, Shorthorn heifers, January-February 22. We'll do a final call for the Shorthorn heifer, January-February 22 class. Final call, Shorthorn heifer, January-February 22.
Just a single Main Anjou heifer, and one that has some things you can certainly appreciate. Length of body and just attractive in her build. A heifer that certainly could have stood some competition if we had a few more to come at her today. But a nice heifer here. Congratulations to you, young man, and bring a good one.
Congratulations to Blake Mueller, our champion, Main Anjou. We'll move on to the Shorthorn portion of our program. we get our Shorthorn from January, February in the ring, we'll go and do a first/second call for Shorthorn March, April 22. First/second call, Shorthorn March, April 22.
Single entry in this age group in the Shorthorn class, and heifer is really feminine and attractive in her profile. Just very, very ladylike in her build. It has some good shape and depth to her. One that if we're going to pick on her, I wish we could just make her a little stouter starting at the ground and add a little more muscle shape to this one when you get behind her. But real pretty made female. I think she can be a nice cat.
Next in the ring, we have our Shorthorn heifer March, April 22 class. So we'll do a first/second call for Shorthorn heifer May, June 2022. First/second call, Shorthorn heifer May, June 2022. We'll invite back our top purples for our Shorthorn drive following the May, June class. Final call, Shorthorn heifer May, June 22. Final call, Shorthorn heifer May, June 22.
Another nice single entry here with this March, April Shorthorn heifer. Maybe a little more moderate in the frame size, but that's perfectly okay with me. That does not bother me one bit to see one frame scale because she sure packs a punch everywhere else. Tons of volume, mass when you get behind her. Gets out, travels well, put together really nice. Just a really nice female here in this single entry class.
Next in the ring, we have our May, June Shorthorn class from 2022, and then we will invite back our purple for the Shorthorn drive. We want to congratulate all of our exhibitors for receiving banners and awards. We ask that they please remember to send in thank yous that are attached to your award. These generous awards would not be possible without our sponsors and supporters that love to see our Lancaster County youth here in the showroom at the county fair.
nice female leads off this class of 2 here. This heifer, I think, just fits me in terms of what I look for in brood cow prospect, and a show heifer she suits that pretty well. She's balances up nicely, a heifer that's got enough to her in terms of shape, volume. A heifer that, could we have a little bit of a bigger, a little bit bigger foot under her if you want to get picky, sure. I think we could do that. But I think this one puts a lot of nice pieces together. The young lady's done a nice job with the show. Our heifer here in second, long-bodied in terms of her spine. I think this one carries some mass to when you view her from behind. I just like to soften her up to a middle 1/3, give her some rib shape, volume, maybe just a tick plainer in her design. If we could make her a little square, a little neater, more attractive, we could certainly have the discussion about needing her.
All right, now we'll have our Shorthorn drive, so we'll bring back our purples from the previous 3 classes. Get your champion reserve Shorthorn for the 2023 Lancaster County Beef Show. We'll go ahead and do a first call for our Simmental heifer January, February 22. First call, Simmental heifer January, February 22. Final call, Simmental heifer January, February 22. Final call, Simmental heifer January, February 22.
Get our 3 Shorthorn class winners back for an overall drive, and I think these are 3 females that make Shorthorn breeders proud of what these cattle can do. I think they're bringing some pieces to the table that good Shorthorn cattle need to have. With that said, in my mind, there's kind of a standout champion in this group for me. The gentleman circling the heifer right here in front of me is going to be your champion Shorthorn. We'll follow for reserve with the young ladies around.
Congratulations to Tyson Gaina, your champion Shorthorn, and Kaylin Keepler as your reserve champion. Next in the ring is our Simmental portion of the program. So we'll have our January, February 2022 born. We'll go ahead and do a first and second call for Simmental heifer March, April 22. First and second call, Sim heifer March, April 22.
single entry to start the Simmons calls, but a good one for sure. This is a heifer that just bold rib, big bodied kind of female. Just gives you that nice balanced brood cow look about her. When she gets her parked, it's hard not to like a heifer with that kind of look and attractiveness to her. Really neat piece. We'll see how she stacks up with the other Simmons calls.
Next in the ring will be our Sem Heifer March April 22 class. We'll go ahead and do a first and second call for Sem Heifer March April 23. First and second call for Sem Heifer March April 23. Final call, Seminole Heifer, March, April 23. Final call, Seminole Heifer, March, April 23.
Another single entry here, a heifer a little more moderate in her kind, big-bodied heifer. I certainly appreciate those things about her. If I could change her a little bit, might want to freshen her up just a tick in terms of condition. I think for a breeding heifer, she might just be a little bit too far for me in terms of what she's got on her. But a nice solid piece, I think she could be a good cow for you down the road.
The ring will have our Sem Heifer March, April 23. And we'll have our Seminole Rye. We'd like to thank our 2023 FFA Livestock Exhibitors t-shirt sponsors, Smart Chicken, Neogen, and Tractor Supply Company. As a part of this sponsorship, each 4-H FFA Livestock exhibitor is provided a t-shirt free of cost. Exhibitors are encouraged to sign poster boards near the livestock office to thank these great sponsors.
Another single entry, another nice female. One that really elegant, unique profile. This look you get right here, this heifer is just pretty cool to look at. But she's functional, I think, in terms of her build and her structure. She's a functional female. We'll see how she compares to a couple other Simmons calls when we go select a champion here in just a second.
We invite back in our purples of the Seminole breed for our Seminole drive, and then we'll go ahead and do a first call for AOB heifers March, April 22. All other breed heifers March, April 2022. This is your first and second call. Final call, AOB heifer, March, April 2022 class. Final call, AOB, March, April 22.
Again, not very many Simmentals at our show here today, but I think we've got some that are nice quality, good representatives of the breed. Looks like we just keep this thing rolling right along for this group. My champion is going to be our oldest heifer here to my right, and the reserve will be the young man over here to my left. Two nice heifers. Congratulations to all of them.
Congratulations to Kaylin Keebler, your champion Simmental heifer, and Blake Mueller as your reserve champion. We're now moving on to our AOB portion of the program. March, April 22 will be entering the ring, and we'll go ahead and do a first and second call for AOB January, February 23. So once the March, April 22 get in the ring, we'll do a first and second call for AOB January, February 23.
White-legged heifer here will be our lead-off in this class. And for me, I think she does it because I feel like she's just a little more comfortable when we have these two heifers to go in motion. This heifer's soggy made and deep-bodied, a little more moderate in her kind. You know, could she be a little fresher? I think she could be at this stage compared to our other heifer. But I think the way that she handles herself when they go just gives her the advantage to me over our second-place heifer. The second place heifer is the one that I would say is probably more angular, more feminine in her build. She just doesn't want to handle the top quite right when these heifers get out and go. Not quite as comfortable on the hind end of her skeleton, but when she gets parked like this, you really have to like her. It's just when you have them in motion, I get a little reserve about her compared to the other. But two nice heifers there to look through.
have our AOB January, February 23 class, and then we'll bring back our purples for our AOB championship drive.
Just the one Shorthorn Plus heifer calf here, but one that is a good representation for Shorthorn Plus cattle. I think this one's got some neat pieces about her in terms of rib shape. It just balances up nicely. I'd like to change maybe how her tail head and hip kind of come together back there. It's not ideal, but none of these cattle are absolutely perfect. There's a lot of good things about her. We'll compare her to this maintainer in just a second for a champion AOB.
Go ahead and do a first call for British Commercial, September, October 2022. First call, British Commercial, September, October 22.
Broken record in saying that we don't have very many in the AOB division, but each one of them is a nice representation of their respective breeds. We have our white-legged maintainer, our Shorthorn Plus, and then a man to my left. In this group, I think for me, I'm going to use for champion, I'm going to use our maintainer heifer right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and follow with the Shorthorn Plus calf for reserve.
Congratulations to Tyson Dana from the March April class as your champion, and Emberlyn Johnson as reserve champion for AOB. We'll move on to the commercial portion of the program. So we're starting off with British Commercial September, October 22, entering the ring next. We'll go ahead and do a first and second call for British Commercial January, February 23. First and second call for British Commercial, January, February 23.
single entry here in this portion of the commercial heifer show. Really bold-bodied female, lots of shape and volume to her. Puts herself together pretty nicely. Easy doing kind of female for sure. We'll see how she stacks up with our other commercial heifers.
Next to the ring is our British Commercial January, February 23 class, and then we'll bring back our September, October 22 to award our British Commercial Champion and Reserve.